Hello students, welcome back to your math classes. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well and healthy. So students, I'm your mathematics educator again here with a new chapter and a new concept. And today we are going to learn about chapter number 8, which is 4 operations in decimal. So in our previous chapter, we already learned about the decimals, how we can convert different types of decimals, like for example like fraction converted into like. We already learned about decimal in our previous chapter. Now we are going to operate 4 operations into decimals. So first, let us now add 2 or more decimals. So here we have 2 decimals, 0.7 and 0.2. So we have to add. Always consider in your mind, always keep in your mind that you have to add the same place value to the same place value. For example, your point should be below the next number point. For example, 7 plus 2 is 9 and 0.0 plus 0 is 0. So answer will be 0.9. Okay. Now in next question, 4.24, 3.01 and 1.72. So you have to arrange your numbers in column in such a way that your point should be next to the next point of your number. So 4 plus 1, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 2 plus 7, 9 and 4, 3, 7 plus 1 is 8. So answer will be 8.97. You don't have to scared about the addition process operation into the decimal, because the same process we have to repeat which we learned in our earlier classes and our previous chapter as well. You just have to remember about this point. Okay students, next add 4421.73, 73.4 and 5.008. So in this case we have unlike fractions. So what we do, first we convert them into like fraction. So the highest we have 3, so we have to make 3 digits after point. 730400008, and now you can simply add them together and you will get your answer 500.138. Now rules for addition: convert the like decimal into like fractions, arrange the numbers to be added in such a way that the decimal point of all the numbers are in the same column and also the digit having the same place value in the same column. Add ignoring the decimal point, add just like the whole numbers. Insert the decimal point in the sum directly under the decimal points of all numbers. Okay students, now using decimal in the context of units of money and length. We are also using our decimal in the context of money and length. How? The cost of 1 kg of mangoes is 48 rupees 0.70. 1 kg of apple is 52.50 and 1 dozen of banana is 36.80. Find the total cost. So we just have to add them together. 0 will be 0, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 8, 20, 0, 2 will be there, 8, 2, 10, 10, 6, 16, 16 plus 2 is 18, 1 will be there, 4, 5, 9, 9 plus 1, 10 and 10 plus 3 is 13. So 138 is your total amount. Okay students, now Rajan purchased 2.45 meter of cloth for shirt, 2.25 meter for his pants and 1.62 meter for his younger brother's pants. Find the total length of cloth purchased by Rajan. So you have to add these three numbers together and you will get your answer. So 6.32 meter is your answer. Now we move forward to our exercise 8.1, 0.6, 0.9 and 0.25. So this is our unlike fraction. So we have to convert them. 0.60, 0.90, 0.25. Now 5, 15 plus 2, 17, 1. So 1.75 is your answer. Okay, next we take one more part of it. So let's take this one, F. First we convert 0.12 into like fraction, 0.120, then 0.002, 0.120, 0.120, 2, 4, 2.0. So 0.242 is your answer for this question. Okay, now we move forward to question number 2. Convert the following into like decimal and find the sum. So let's take this question, part A. 0.72, 0.10, and 9.01. So this is already, all these are like fractions. So 2 plus 1, 3, 7 plus 1, 8.9. 9.83 is your answer. Fine. Now next to, in this, again we have like fractions. Let's take this one. 1.001, 0.040, 0.900. Now you have to add them together. 149.1. 1.941 is your final answer. Okay, now next question we have. Amit paid 450.75 purchase for a pair of shoes, 310.50 for a shirt, and 765.50 for a pair of jeans. Find the total money paid by Amit. So what you have to do, you just have to add these three values together by writing in column 5, 17, 1, 6, 12, 1 and 15. So 1526.75 is paid by Amit. So you can do the rest two questions you have in this exercise your own. Okay. Now we move forward to new concept where we have to do subtraction over in the decimal. The same process you have to repeat here. You just have to need 0.7 minus 0.3. Your answer will be 0.4. The same rules and regulations we are following for the addition. Now 3.337 from 5.459. So 9 plus 7, 2, 5 minus 3, 2, 4 minus 3, 1 and 5 minus 3 is 2. So this is your answer. In day-to-day practice, short form method is used for subtraction. Expand form described above is to make you understand the concepts of decimal. So this way, you can easily subtract this. For easy and a brief explanation, we doing this thing here. For example, 9,000 minus 7,000 is 2,000. 500 minus 300, it's 200. 4/10 minus 3/10 is 1/10. 5 ones and minus 3 ones is 2 ones. If you want to make this question brief, you can take your question like this as well. Or if you want to a short form, just direct answer, you can opt that also. Now subtract 4.23 from 9.875. So what we notice here, these are not like fractions. So first we have to convert this. So we have add a 0 here. 5 minus 0, 5, 8 minus 3, 5, 7 minus 2, 5, 9 minus 4 is 5. So this is your final answer. Now we move forward to our next question, next example. A man had to cover a distance of 25 kilometers on a cycle, and at the end of 1 hour, he could wait again. A man had to cover a distance of 25 kilometers on a cycle. At the end of 1 hour, he could cover a distance of 12.35 kilometers. Find how much distance is left uncovered. So this is your whole number. You have to convert it into your decimal. So 25.00. And then you have to subtract 12.35 from this. So 0 cannot be subtracted 5. So we have to take a carry. This will become 10, 9. And this will 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 3 is 6. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 2 minus 1 is this. So your answer will be 12.65 kilometer. Okay. Next. Now we have our exercise 8.2. Subtract the following 3.26 from 7.6. So these are your unlike fractions. So first we have to convert them. So 7.60 and 3.26. We cannot minus 6 from 0. So we have to take a carry. 10 minus 6 is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So 4.34 is your answer. Then next question we can take this one. Again we have to make it like fraction. 250, 0.175. 10 minus 5 because we cannot minus 5 from 0. So here we have 4. 10 minus 5 is 5. Again we have to take a carry. 14 minus 7 is 7. 1 minus 0 and 0.0. So 0.075 is your answer. In same way, you have to do rest of the questions you have. Now we move forward to question number second, where first we have to arrange these numbers into columns and then find their difference. So first we have to write 7.130 and 2.85. Now we have to make a difference of it. So we have to take a carry. 10 minus 2 is 8. 2 minus 5 is not possible. So we have to take a carry. So 12 minus 5 is 7. Now 0 is not possible. So 10 minus 8 is 2. And we have 6. So 6 minus 2 we have 4. So 4.278 is your answer. In same way, you have to do rest of the questions you have in rest of the parts you have in your question number 2. Now we move forward to our words problems. Which is larger of the two? 0.999 and 0.9, and by how much? So 0.999 is bigger, and how much we have to find it? 0.900. So by 990. So from 0.099, 0.999 is greater. Okay. Now we move forward to our next operation, which is multiplication. Multiplication of a decimal by a whole number. So multiply 0.04 by 2. So in this case, you just have to forget about the decimal. 4 multiplied by 2 is your answer 8. Right? Now in this case, when you have 8, so you have to read how many. Let us write the fraction in the numerator denominator form and multiply 0.4. But this is 0.04. So student, there is a correction for you. Here we have a question 0.04. So first you have to convert this number into decimal. So answer will be 4 upon 100. Right? Now 4 upon 100 multiply by 2. Your answer will be 8 upon 100. So how many zeros? 2. So we have to write 8 0.0. 0.08 is your answer. Okay. Next, in method 2, what we can do? We can forget about the point. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. And now you have to read how many zeros you have after point 1 and 2. And you can simply add it. Or you can forget about this question. You just keep in your mind this one. And by doing that, you can follow the same process you have here. Now, when you have two numbers, so in this case, you have to forget about the point. So 925 multiplied by 7. 7 5s are 35 and 3. 7 2s are 14. 14 plus 3, 17. 1. 7 9s are 63 plus 1, 64. Now how many numbers we have after point? Only one. So you just have to read your counting from left hand side 1, and after 1 you have to add a point. So 647.5 is your final answer. So student, I hope so this is clear to you, and now we can move forward to our exercise 8.3. Here we have to multiply 5.8 multiplied by 6. So 58 multiplied by 6. 6 8s are 48. 4 6 5s are 30 plus 4, 34. And how many points we have? Only one. So we have to put a point here. So answer will be 34.8. Okay, next 13.7 multiplied by 8. 137 multiplied by 8. 7 8s are 54. 7 3s are 8 3s are 24. 24 plus 5, 29. 2 8 1s are 8 plus 2, 10. How many points we have? Only one. So we put here point 109.4 is your answer. So now you can solve rest of the question in the same way as I do, and you will get your answer. After this, we are going to multiplying a decimal by multiple of 10, where we have 10, 100 and 1000. This is very easy for you. For example, again you have to forget about the decimal. So our number is 3845. Now you have to read how many zeros you have? Only one. So put a 0 here. Now you have to read how many numbers you have after the digit 1, 2, 3. Start your counting from left hand side. 1, 2, 3. So 38.45 is your answer. 38.45 will be your answer. In this case, you have two zeros. So 384500. And now you have to add how many points you have, how many digits you have after point? 3. 1, 2, 3. So 384.5 will be your answer. How many zeros you have in your multiple of 10, you just have to add them. Then you have to count how many numbers or how many digits you have after your decimal point. Count them from left hand side and put the point after that. When a decimal is multiplied by 10, 100 and 1000, digits from the multiplication and remain unchanged in the product, the decimal point shifts to the right by 1, 2 or 3 places respectively. Therefore, while putting a decimal point in the product, shift the decimal point as many places to the right as there are zeros after 1 in the multiplier. So this is very easy. I hope so students this is clear to you. Now we move forward to our exercise 8.4, where we have to multiply our numbers with the multiple of 10. So 0.5 multiplied by 10, if we forget about the decimal, so we will get our answer 50. How many numbers we have after point? Only one. So count from left hand side 1. So 5.0 is your answer. Next we take an example for J. So 44.77 multiplied by 100. Again, forget about the point and write only 1 0. Now how many digits we have after decimal point? Only 2. So 1, 2. Your answer will be 447.70. So this is very easy. You can do rest of the question as I do similarly. Now multiplying one decimal by another. For example, if we have to multiply a decimal number to a decimal number, again the same process. Just forget about the decimal point and simply multiply it. So you will get your answer by multiplying this 928. Okay. Now 928, you have to read how many zeros you have. 1, 2. So after seeing it, 1, 2, start your counting. 1, 2. 9.28 is your answer. Okay. Or you can also do that by removing the decimal. So 5.8 will be converted as in fraction form. 58 upon 100 and 1.6, 16 upon 10. Then 58 multiplied by 16 is 928, divided by 100 is 9.28. So here we have two methods. You can use any one of which will feel easier for you. Now multiply without considering decimal point. Count the total number of decimal places in the multiplier and multiplicand. Starting from one's place of the product, move as many places to the left as the total number of decimal places counted and put the decimal there. In the second example, 0.58 multiplied by 0.04, a decimal point should be placed after counting 4 places from the right. The product is the 3-digit number, therefore a 0 is written to the left and the decimal point is placed before it. So in same way you can do that. So now we have example number 2, where we have to multiply 4.36 by 3.5. So in this case, again we have to forget about the decimal point. We simply multiply 436 by 35 and we will get our answer 15,260. So now in this question number 1, we have 2 decimals. In this we have 1 decimal. So total how many decimals we have? 3. So we have to start our counting from left hand side. 1, 2, 3 and put a point over there. So 15.260 is our answer. I hope so student this is clear to you. And now we can easily move forward to our exercise. Now we take one more example where we have to multiply with 0.004 and 0.003. Here you again have to forget about the decimals. You have 4 multiplied by 3 is 12. Now in this case, in question number 1, we have 3 decimals and here we have 2. So total we have 5 decimal numbers after point. So after 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0.00012 is your final answer. Now we can move forward to our exercise 8.5, where we have to multiply two decimal numbers together. So again 56 multiplied by 32. We just forget about the decimal point. We have 2 6 are 12. 1 would be there. 2 multiplied by 5, 10 plus 1, 11. We have to add a 0 here. 3 multiplied by 6, 18. 1 would be there. 3 multiplied by 15 plus 1, 16. Now we have to add them together. 2, 9, 7, 1. So let's see how many points we have. 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So from left hand side, 1, 2. 17.92 will be your answer. Let's take one more question. 705 multiplied by 812. 2 5s are 10. 1, 2 0, 1, 2 7s are 14. 0, 5, 0, 7 0 0, 8 5s are 40, 0 4, multiply 0 4, 8 7s are 56. Now add them together, 0 6 4, 7 plus 4 11, 11 plus 1 12, 1 7 5. How many points we have after the, how many numbers we have after point? 1 2 3. So from left hand side, 1 2 3. Your answer will be 572.460. 572.460. This is your answer. Find the product. So students, you can do rest of the parts you have in question number 1 as I do similarly. Now in part 2, find the product of the following. So 7.05 multiplied by 5. Again, we just have to forget about the point. The same process you have to repeat again and again. So don't be scared by seeing this big number. You just have to repeat the same multiplication operation. What you have to keep in your mind, that your decimal should be put on the right side or on the right digits. Okay. So here we have 5 multiplied by 5, 25, 2, 5 multiplied by 0, 0, 2, 5 multiplied by 7 is 35. How many digits we have after point? Only 2. So 1, 2. 35.25 is your answer. Now take one more example. Let's take this one. K. 10808 multiply with 45. 5 8s are 44. 5 multiply by 0 is 0. 4. 5 multiply by 44. Then 4 5 is a 5. We have to put a 0. 4 8s are 32, 3, 4 0 3, 4 8s are 32, 2, 3, 0 3 and 4 1s are 4. Now we have to add them together, 0, 6, 3, 6, 8, 4. How many total digits we have? Only 2. So 1, 2. So 4863.60 is your answer. Okay students, so in the same way you have to do the rest of the parts we have in question number 2. Now we have word problems. A milk mill sells 2.785 liters of milk daily to each of the 11 families. Find how many liters of milk he sells daily. So 2785 multiply by 11, and we already know that whenever we multiply any number with 1, we get the same number. So 270 0 5 8 7. Now we have to add them together. 5, 13, 1, 15, 16, 1, 9, 10, 1 and 3. How many points we have after? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 30.635. I hope so student, these questions are clear to you and you can do the rest of the questions which is left by me in this exercise your own. So now we are going to learn about the properties of multiplication of decimals. So when we multiply a decimal fraction by a whole number or a decimal fraction by another decimal fraction, the product of the two remains unchanged even if we change the order of the factors. In other words, the product remains the same no matter in which order we are multiply them. So this is your commutative property similarly, but in this case we have decimal numbers. So as we learned in commutative property that when we change the order of the numbers, the answer will remain same. The same process is repeating here, that if we multiply 0.7 by 8 or 8 multiply by 0.7. So your answer at the moment will remain same, which is 5.6. So I hope students, this is your commutative property. You can relate it with your decimal numbers as well. The product of a decimal fraction and 1 is always equal to the decimal fraction itself. So this is your multiplicative identity, in which we understand that whenever we multiply a number with 1, the number itself its answer, right? So in this case, if I multiply 8.2 by 1, so the result will remain same, 8.2. 0.044 multiply by 1, your answer will remain same, the number only. Next, the product of a decimal fraction and 0 is always equal to 0. The same property which we learned in our multiplication, that whenever we multiply a number with 0, we get the same number. So now we are move forward to our exercise 8.6. 3.85 multiplied by 0.5, it's equal to, so 3.85 is missing in our discussion, so we just have to write 3.85. 39.123 multiplied by 9, it's equal to 9 multiply 39.123. 273.123 multiplied by dash, that is equal to 0. It means whenever we multiply a number with 0, we get our product a 0. So now we are going to learn about the division of decimals, that is our last operation which we operate over our decimal numbers. Division of a decimal fraction by a whole number. So if we have a decimal number and we have to divide it with a whole number, so you again, the multiplicative properties which we have to remember here, that we have to forget about the point we are placing there. You just need to write your numbers like in fraction form, 9 by 10. Now 9 by 10 divided by 3. So in fraction we already learned about this. If we have 9 by 10 and we have to divide it with a whole number. So in this case, in fraction chapter, we take a reciprocal of 3 and this division sign will convert it into multiplication, and this 3 reciprocal is 1 by 3. Now you simply solve it. 3 ones are 3 and 3 3s are 9 and 3 by 10 is your end answer. Okay students, now when you have 3 by 10, so how can you translate this into your decimal? Because we have only 1 0. So from left hand side, if we count 3, then we have to put a point and 0. So 0.3 is your final answer. Now example number 2, 0.42 divided by 6. So again the same process you have to repeat here. Just simply divide 6 by 42. You will get your answer 7. And here we have 2 zeros, because when we remove our point, after point we have 2 digits, so your denominator will be 100. So end of the moment your answer is 0.007. Okay students, now we have our exercise 8.7, in which we have to divide 3.45 by 3. So first you have to write 3.5 divided by 3. So 3.45, divide sign converted into multiplication, and 3 reciprocal is 1 by 3. Now you have to convert your 3.5 in fraction form. So you have to remove this point and your denominator will be 100. Now simplify this. 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3 and 3 fives are 15. So 115 upon 100. And how can you write this in your decimal form? 1.15 is your answer. Next we take another example, this one, part K. 3.009 divided by 3. So first you have to write your decimal number into fraction form. 3.009, you have your denominator 1000. Divide sign will be converted into multiplication, and 3 reciprocal is 1 by 3. 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3, double 0 are common, and 3 threes are 9. So your fraction form will be 1003 upon 1000, and your answer will be 1.003. So now we take one more example, D. 98.7 divided by 7. So first we have to remove the decimal form into, remove the point and converted this into your fraction form. So 987 upon 10 is your answer. Division will be converted into multiplication and 1 by 7. 7 ones are 7, 7 ones are 7, 28, 7 fours are 28 and again 1 7. So now 141 divided by 10, your answer will be 14.1. So this is your final answer. So students, you have to repeat the same process as I do for solving this question, and after following the same steps, you will get your answer. Now move forward, division of a decimal by 10, 100 and 1000. So that is very easy. First of all, you have to see how many zeros are there. Only one, right? So you have to shift your zero. You have to shift your point towards right hand side. In multiplication, we shift our points towards left hand side, and in this case we have to shift our point towards right hand side. How could it be happened? Let's see here. So we have 25.25 divided by 10. So first we have to take 20, right? Then 5 left. We write down 2 below. For 52 we have to write 5, 52. Then we have 2 rest. Then we have to take our next number, which is 5. So for 25 for 25, we have to write here 20. So 25 minus 20 is, again we have 5. Now 50 and 50. So we have our answer 2.525. So if you want to do this, you can do the long process. And if you don't want to do this, so you can simply write your numbers. Check it out. How many zeros are there? 1. How many digits are there after 0.3? So count your 1, 2, 3. And put a point here. That's it. This is the simple process you have. Okay. Next, 187.85 divided by 100. So 18785. 2 zeros are there and 2 numbers are there after point. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So count your numbers from left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1.8785. Same answer. Okay. Now, same process we have to repeat for the 1000. Now we have some examples. 8 point, wait. So what we observe here in example number 1, the dividend and the quotient have the same digits, but the decimal point has shifted by one place to the left in the quotient. In example number 2, the dividend and the quotient have the same digits, but the decimal point has shifted by 2 places. And in example number 3, the decimal point has shifted by 3 places to the left in the quotient. Thus, as general rule, we can conclude that while dividing a decimal fraction by 10, 100 and 1000, we get the required quotient by moving the decimal point in the dividend by as many places to the left as there are zeros in the divisor. If the dividend shorts of digits, then zeros are annexed to the extreme left of the number to get the required number places. So the same thing I explain you in above section, that's repeating here. So I hope so you get your point. Now 8.4 divided by 8.4 divided by 10, you just have to repeat, you just have to shift your point towards left hand side. How many zeros are there? 1. And how many numbers we have after 0.2? So 8 and 4, count your number from left hand side. 1, 2, you just have to put a point here and write 0. So 0.84 is your final answer. Now 0.32 numbers are there after one number is there after point and 1 0. We have the total, we have 2 numbers, so we just have to count a number from left hand side. 1 2.0. So 0.03 is your answer. Now we move forward to exercise 8.8. So let's take some questions. 4.5 divided by 10. So here we have one number after point and here we have 1 0. So total we have 2 numbers, right? So write 45, count 1, 2 and put a point and 0. 0.45 is your answer. Next, Z 0.010 divided by 1000. So here we have 3 zeros. Here we have 3 numbers after the point. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. So write 10 here and now count your numbers. 1, 2 we have, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now you have to put a point and 0. In suppose case you have you don't have enough numbers, then you have to put zeros to as a filling part. Okay, you can use zeros as a filler. Now 5 divided by 1000. So again we have to write 5 is a whole number. Count how many zeros are there. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 zeros as your filler. 0.0. So 0.005 is your final answer. So students, you have to repeat the same process for rest of the questions we have. And now we are move forward to our next portion, which is division of decimal by a decimal. So in this case, what we have to do, let's see, we have to divide a decimal number with a decimal. So for this, first you have to write your numbers in the fraction form. Okay. Now you have to remove their points. So this is, you can write like this also, 42 by 100 and 10 by 3. Okay. Now how we write here? Let's see the whole process. 0.42 divided by 0.3, 42 upon 100, the fraction form, and divided by 3 upon 10. Okay. Now we have to take a division of these fractions. So in the fraction, what we learned, if we have two fraction, we have to take a reciprocal of the second fraction and converted the division sign into multiplication. So answer will be 10 by 3. Now you have to remove 0 by 0. 3 ones are 3 and here we have 14. So your answer is 14 by 10 and end of the moment your answer is 1.4. The same process is here. 0.442 divided by 0.3. So this, now you have to write your numbers like this. After getting your answer is this. How can you do? Quotient is equal to dividend divided by divisor is equal to dividend upon divisor. Okay. Next, I already explained you each and every concept why this formula is originated. So you can have your reason. Okay, fine. That's why we are writing like this. So in next step, I'm not writing like this. I'm just getting to the point dividend upon divisor. So I hope students at that moment you don't get confused. Now 60.96 divided by 0.16. So 60.96 divided by 0.16. So in this case, you have to remove 0. So here we have 200. Here we have 200. Now you can remove it 100 by 100. So your answer is 6096 divided by 16. End of the moment, your answer is 381. Okay, students. So now we move forward. So same examples we have for the division of decimal numbers, and you have to repeat the same process again and again. So you can do this. Okay. Now conversion of fraction numbers to decimal fraction. So for we have 1 by 5. So you have to multiply your fraction number, your denominator, by a number. End of the moment you get a multiple of 10. Okay. Convert the following fraction into decimal fraction. So here we have 1 by 5. Now if we multiply 5 by 2, and the same fraction property, if we multiply denominator by 2, so we have to multiply numerator by 2 as well. 2 by 10, we have a fraction, and then we can easily convert it this into 0.2, because we already learned in our above section that decimal is where we have denominator of multiple of 10. So the thing we have to just repeat here. Okay, 3 by 4. So we have to multiply 4 by 25 to get a denominator of multiple of 10. Now 75 upon 100, your answer is 0.75. Now we move forward to our exercise 8.9. Find the quotient in the following. So, and here we have question number 1, 8 divided by 0.5. So in this, first we have to change it. 5 upon 10. Now we have to take a reciprocal of this. So answer will be 80 upon 5, and you have 1 and 6. So 16 is your answer for this. Okay, next let's take one more question. This one, 0.144 divided by 0.12. So in this section, if we have two decimal numbers, so what we have to do, we can write dividend upon divisor, right? So 0.144 upon 0.12. Now in by this we have 3 zeros, and in this we have 2 zeros. So 2 zeros are cancelled out with 2 zeros. 12 ones are 12 and 12 twelves are 144. So 12 upon 10, your answer will be 1.2. Okay. Now one more question. Let's take this one. 0.008 divided by 0.2. So 0.008 divided by 0.2. Here we have 10, and here we have how many numbers? 1, 2, 3. 3. Cancel. 1, 4. 4 divided by 10. Your answer is 0.4. Now we have our next question. So for rest of the questions, you have to repeat the same process as I do. Now convert the following fractions into decimals. So in this case, we have to shift our denominator into the multiple of 10. Okay, so in this case, we can simply multiply it with 2. So 8 2s are 16 and 5 2s are 10. So your answer will be 1.6. Next we have your mixed fraction. First we have to convert it into improper fraction, and then we have to shift its denominator in the multiple of 10. So 5 3s are 15, 15 plus 1 16, 16 upon 5. You can multiply 5 by 2 to convert it into multiple of 10. So 16 2s are 32 and 5 2s are 10. So your decimal form will be 3.2. So now the same process you have to repeat here for rest of the parts we have in question number 2. Okay. Now we have word problems on decimals. So the same process we have to repeat here with same operation. The difference is now we have our day-to-day situations. So Ravi paid 875 to purchase 100 liters of milk. Find the cost of 1 liter of milk. So in this case, we have to divide 1875 by 100. So we already learned how we can just multiply 100. You have 2 zeros, so you have to write your number. Start your counting from left hand side, 1 2, and shift your point here. So your answer is 18.75. The next question we have, the cost of 1 liter of petrol is 55.75. Find the cost of 30 liters of petrol. So in this case, we have to apply the multiplication operation. So 55.75 multiplied by 30. So first you have to forget about your decimal portion. When you multiply 5575 by 30, you will get your answer simply, not 30. You just have to remove your decimals. Here we have 2 and here we have 30. So 0 is cancelled out with 0. 5575 multiplied by 3 is 16,725. How many zeros we have? Only 1. So you have to start your counting from left hand side. After 5, you have to put a point here. So your final answer is 1672.50. Now we have our exercise 8.10. So Raman purchased 125 meters of cloth. If the cost of 1 meter of cloth is 16.50, how much money did Raman pay? So 125 multiply 16.50. So first you have to forget about, or you can remove your point. So here we have 100. 0 is cancelled out with 0. Here we have, okay, you can find. So first we have multiply 125 by 165, and then you can simply put a point here. So 165 multiply by 125, 5 5s are 25, 2 5 6 are 30, 2 3 5 1s are 5, and 8 0, 2 5s are 10, 1 2 6 are 12, 13, 1 2 1s are 2, 3 0 0 1 5 6 1. 5 2 8 8 16 1 9 10 1 2. So your answer is 20625 upon 10. How many zeros are there? Only one. So your answer will be 2062.5. Okay, this is your final answer. You can see here as well, because you have to put a point from left hand side. So only 1 point. So after 5 you can put here. Okay, now we have second question, last question. Next, now we have next question. A shopkeeper has 450 kg of tea. He packed it in packets, each weighing 4.5 kg. Find the total number of tea packets. So you have to divide 450 by 4.5. So you have to remove your decimal. Here we have 10. 45 ones are 45. So total we have 100 packets. Okay. So now you have your worksheet in which you have combination of questions which we already do in an exercise. After this, you have your mathematics lab activity which you have to perform in your maths lab. After this, your chapter is ends here. I hope students you understood it chapter very well. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.